good to see you. This is a new series of videos I'm going to be doing. It's Premier League predictions. Every week I'm going to be with a different guest every week. We're going to be going through the fixtures that week in the Premier League. We're going to predict what we think they'll be, and we'll see how close we get. This is one of my best friends, Luke.
Alright guys, how are you doing?
Luke's here to help me analyse this week's fixtures and break down this weekend's games. Let's see what we can do. Okay, first game, Luke. Manchester City v Liverpool. That is a pretty big first game.
It's the highlight of the weekend, isn't it?
I'd have to agree there. What are you expecting from that Man City at home?
Well, I mean, you're expecting in the past few years as well, especially with Klopp, and last year I think really does stand out. There's a lot of attacking football from Liverpool, and quite often, you know, Man City trying to go toe for toe with them.
Guardiola's quite stubborn. Monaco last season.
Exactly. So I'm really expecting an interesting game, and quite possibly high scoring.
Yes, good point. Liverpool didn't lose against a top 6 team last year. They're good against better teams.
Which is what let Arsenal down for the past 20 years is what's let Arsenal down, so it's the exact opposite. Yeah, I mean, they're always entertaining games to watch. Be interesting to see how Liverpool play now, knowing they've kept Coutinho. Klopp has come out and said that he's not in the squad. He hasn't been put in the squad, sorry, because he's not up to match fitness.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how the rest of the squad reacts to that. I'm really liking the dynamic of the front three Liverpool have with Firmino, Salah and Mane.
Very good front three.
Very pacey.
Explosive, isn't it?
Arguably the best in the league when they're playing well. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that game.
That's a good game.
Weekend.
Yeah. For me, Liverpool didn't look, like I said, didn't lose against a top 6 team last year. I think this is probably a game they probably just about will lose. Man City spent a lot of money, the most money out of any club in the world, even more than PSG. It's like 215 million. I think Guardiola's got a good eye for the player. I think Man City are looking pretty good, but I wouldn't be surprised when the other way Liverpool win.
Well, I mean, they're notorious for having a poor defence in the past few seasons, aren't they? And they've spent a lot of money. It's where
spent more money on their defence budget than most countries.
Yeah, it's where the bulk of the investment's been, especially this season. So it'll be interesting to see. It's a first real test for that new defence, and what a test it is. What a test it is in them that front three.
They're on form, Liverpool. I don't know. Maybe a draw. I don't know. What are you thinking?
I reckon 2-1 Liverpool.
You reckon they'll win?
Yeah. I'd like to say Oxlade-Chamberlain to get the winner, but I doubt it. I reckon the goals will probably come from the front three. Maybe a midfielder chipping in with one, you know, the Chan popping up. God, I don't know. It's a hard one to call, and that's why it is to stand out for me. But I reckon 2-1 Liverpool. I reckon they might just clinch it.
I'm going to go 2-all.
2-all?
Yeah, 2-all.
I can see that.
So we'll have 2-all, 2-1. We're pretty close to each other.
I think I'd settle on 2-2 because everyone knows Liverpool's struggling defence.
Yeah, I could see Liverpool winning though. So you're 2-1, I'm 2-2.
Yeah, I'll stick with that. Yeah, I'll stick with 2-1.
Okay, cool. Be interesting to see, but I think there'll be goals.
Yeah.
Okay. Leicester-Chelsea. That is another pretty good game, I think. Leicester look pretty good against Arsenal. They're at home in this game. Does that give them a chance?
I don't know. Just signed Drinkwater, haven't they? So that's going to be an interesting dynamic to the match.
True, that's a big part of Leicester's midfield. That title-winning midfield of Kante and Drinkwater's broken up now.
And it's reunited in a way. I'm
True,
really looking forward to seeing how they play together, if they do in fact play together, because
Drinkwater can't be a starter for Chelsea.
Well,
Bakayoko and Kante.
And Fabregas as well, I mean, but
I think he's good squad depth for me.
He is, but
I don't spend a lot.
Do you play him just because to see how it goes?
Kante
with
again.
Kante, I mean, we don't know what's happened in training, you know. They could be looking world beaters again. You don't know.
Potentially, they were title winners, weren't they?
I'd be surprised as well. I reckon he might get a cameo, but it'll be interesting to see. I think Chelsea might just clinch it. They're starting to look like the title-winning side that they were. I really like Morata. I think he's really adapted to the league.
He's a smart player.
He's a very smart player. He's adapted to the league very well. So I reckon maybe 1-0 Chelsea. I don't know. It's a hard one to call for me because
Yeah,
you don't know which
fair.
Chelsea and which Leicester's going to show up.
Yeah, true. They are a bit. I mean, Chelsea generally have been quite consistent. The Burnley result was a bit of a shock, but
Yeah.
the red cards. I think
Fair
for me, Chelsea are just going to have a bit too much. They're a great team. They're the champions. I'm going to go 3-1 Chelsea.
I was sort of 1-0, 2-0 to Chelsea. I do think the defence, even though it's looked shaky at times, I do think the defence is very good. David Luiz,
I agree.
arguably the best defender last season alongside Alderweireld in the league and Van Dijk. So
Yeah, David Luiz is brilliant.
it's going to be a close game, a close one to call, to be fair. But I reckon it could be 2-0.
2-0. So 3-1, 2-0. Okay. The next game. Another highlight. Some great fixtures this week. Everton Tottenham.
Everton have been looking really good.
Got a good squad. They're not doing very well in the league table, but who did they play? They played Chelsea and was it Man City?
Yeah, I think
They've
so.
got a point against Man City.
Yeah, they got a point against
They didn't look the best against Chelsea, but Chelsea were on very good form.
Yeah.
They've got some good players. They spent a lot of money.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens with Rooney. Obviously, everybody's well aware of his high-profile case at the moment, and he's scored
True.
big innings.
Started well in terms of
He's been
form.
one of the better players for them. Scored 2 goals.
We answer his critics on the pitch.
It's what he's done before.
True. Remember the boxing one?
Yeah.
And that was
Yeah.
his favourite.
Yeah.
Rooney's had a very good career. Be interested to see where he is at the end of this season.
Yeah, especially how this case goes and how things turn out with Colleen.
True. A lot of media speculation on that.
But I think an important thing to realise here is Tottenham are away from home, so I'd expect a better performance from them
True.
than I would at Wembley.
Wembley seems like the cursed pitch at the moment.
And it's also September, which means
Hurricanes.
August is over, so Hurricanes
Hurricanes
ready
back.
to go.
I heard a stat that Harry Kane had the most shots in the Premiership last month.
Yeah,
24.
he's going well.
I don't know. I
I
watched 2 of the games and like against Newcastle he could score a hat trick.
Yeah.
I don't know. For me, Tottenham are definitely the better team, but Everton look pretty good. I'm going to go 1-0.
I would agree with you on that one, 1-0. I like that. I like that as a good shout.
That works. Okay, 1-0. Arsenal Bournemouth. What are your thoughts on that, Luke?
Well, I think we were just discussing this earlier. Sanchez has recently tweeted out and through his Instagram that he's back and he's looking forward to tomorrow. And I don't know if you want to go and look at the pitch, he looks very happy. He's got a nice cheeky smile that he always shows when he's playing well.
He normally works hard as well. He's not one to shy away, is it?
No. And the best way to get a move, and that you probably realise is to play your best.
He knows he doesn't have to stay there past next year.
Yeah, exactly. It's his final year, no matter what. Let's face it, he's one of the best players in the league. Arguably one of the best players in the world. In the world that provides for Arsenal.
Had most goals and assists combined last year in the Premier League. He was very, very good last year.
And I think Arsenal quite often do play well against Bournemouth.
They're just a better version of Bournemouth.
They are very attacking team, Bournemouth. And Arsenal at home do need really knocking from Liverpool defeat. So, are they going to be coming out?
I'm going to see the Wenger out on Arsenal fan TV.
I think they could come out with the tails out. I'm going to go 4-0 Arsenal. I'm not super fast at the moment.
I was going to go 4-0, but I might have to go 3-0 now just to get a bit of difference.
A bit controversial.
Something like that. I think Bournemouth have struggled at the start of the season. I think they're going to be relegation candidates. I'm not sure they've got enough good players in that team, and teams starting to figure them out a bit. And like I said, Arsenal at home, some great players. The return of Sanchez, he'll bring a new impetus to the team.
Yeah.
And I just think they're a better version, so I'll go 3-0.
Yeah.
Okay. Now on to some not as interesting fixtures in my opinion. No offence to fans of these clubs, but Southampton, Watford.
Well, I mean, this is looking at the moment like a battle at the lower end of the table because both teams are struggling for form and goals.
I expected Watford actually not to do too well, but I think they've started okay compared to what people expected.
Yeah.
But Southampton are a team people generally associating with like challenging for Europa League.
Yeah, and they're really struggling for goals.
Yeah. Who are the strikers at the moment?
They've sold Rodriguez, haven't they?
Yeah, James Rodriguez went
They've
to
got
West Brom.
James and Shane Long, and
James?
Gabbiadini. Not James.
He's gone to Bayern. I don't think they'd mind James.
No, who would I think of
Well,
them?
the Gabbiadini's the main man.
Gabbiadini.
Gabbiadini.
Shane Long.
Shane Long's past it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Gabbiadini was on fire when he joined them, but he really slowed down.
The League Cup game against Man U,
Yeah.
when he scored 2 goals.
Gabbiadini, if he gets firing up, takes Southampton to Europa League because they've got a solid squad. They kept Van Dijk.
Which, yeah, I mean, is he playing? You know,
I think he will now.
I read a story saying earlier on in the transfer window where he said he would refuse to play.
He won't.
I don't think he will.
He's the club captain. He won't
yeah.
get a move. He's not going to get a move by not playing.
You need to show a bit of professionalism in that situation, don't you? And just come out and get on with your job. You might not want to be there, but he's on thousands of pounds a week.
Yeah.
You need to do your job. Watford's again. I think
They've signed a lot of players. but
signed a lot of players. Need to bed them in. You know, to sign some decent players. Well, Andre Gray.
Solid Premiership striker.
For a team in Watford's position, I'm the same with Burnley last season. You know, he did very well. He's explosive. He's powerful.
Yeah, he's a very good
And
player.
he does have an eye for goal.
One of my friends used to play with him actually at Luton.
Really?
Yeah. He thought he was good, but he didn't think he was.
Yeah.
He'd be like Premier League good, but.
Yeah.
What's your prediction for that game then?
I'm gonna go 1-1. I think they might just be able to get to a goal each.
I'm going to go 1-0 Southampton. Okay. Brighton, West Brom. Probably not the best game for the neutrals.
Brilliant.
I'm just going to go for 1-0 West Brom here.
I'm gonna agree. I think Brighton are really gonna struggle this season.
They look like a championship team when
They
I
do.
look at them. Their best creative players, Anthony Knockaert, who's not that brilliant.
Yeah,
He's
there's
not
a-
pacey.
There's a reason Leicester sold him when they got promoted.
He's decent, but
He's a good championship player. That's that.
he's arguably a great one. He got the Championship Player of the Year last year, but remember Taarabt, who's a more talented player than him.
Without a doubt.
He came to the Prem and he just got destroyed. I watched them against Man City and they looked pretty well organised. Chris Hughton, I do think, is a good manager.
He's a decent manager, yeah.
They looked organised against Man City, but it just felt like when a Man City finally going to break them down, Brighton didn't threaten at all. They don't have enough going forward for
Yeah.
me. I think they're going to go down more than any team. I struggle to see where the
I would
goals.
agree.
West Brom haven't got many goals in them, but they
No.
don't concede many. Johnny Evans has stayed.
Yeah,
I think he's the club captain, is he?
I couldn't tell you.
I think he's, but he's a very solid defender.
Yeah, I mean, all the managers seem to rate him, don't they? You know, Guardiola, Ferguson, Wenger, they all seem to rate him.
Exactly.
So there's a reason he was linked with a 30 million or around the 30 million pound move to Manchester City in the summer. You don't get listed with or labelled with a possible transfer like that unless you've somewhat earned that price tag.
I'd have to agree with that. So we're settling on 1-0.
1-0.
Okay. So now we move on to Sunday's fixtures. Again, not the biggest games, but we've got Burnley, Crystal Palace.
Well, I read somewhere earlier, possible clickbait, I don't know, but apparently Frank de Boer has been given 1 game to save his job.
That'd be a bit harsh.
I agree. Again, like I say,
Modern football.
possibly clickbait, but would it be the most surprising thing that's happened this year? No.
No. True.
They've been looking very flat.
He's trying to play tiki-taka with Scott Dan.
Exactly.
I wouldn't do that on Football Manager, never mind in real life.
You need to realise your strengths, you need to, and then where you want to improve. If you want to implement that style of football, you need to do it over a period of time, playing to your strengths at the current time and adapting.
As an Aston Villa fan, I love Christian Benteke. In Crystal Palace, he's too good for them in my opinion, but they're not even playing to his strengths. Why are you playing tiki-taka with one of the best target men in the league?
Liverpool did the exact same. Well, they didn't play tiki-taka, but they didn't play to his strengths, and that's why it didn't work out for him.
Wasn't it Sam Allardyce at Palace?
That's who bought him, and
Yeah.
when last
And it
season,
worked, yeah.
any of you FIFA players out there will know how good he was in his informs and how
Yeah,
many informs he got.
he had a
for
great
us.
season for Palace. He really helped keep him up.
Yeah, Burnley, looking decent. I mean, great result against against Chelsea. Sorry.
They're like a much better Brighton in my opinion. They're very
Yeah.
solid. Don't have that much great going forward, but Sam Vokes is developing into a decent Premiership player.
Yeah.
Robbie Brady's a pretty good player.
It's interesting. Chris Wood, is he going to get on the score sheet again?
I'm not sure Chris Wood is quite good enough for the
He's not, but he does know where to go. That's what he is. He just knows where to go.
The size of the net doesn't change
Yeah.
from the conference to the Prem.
Mm.
I think Burnley are going to put another nail in DeVore's coffin.
Yeah,
I'm going to go 1-0 Burnley.
I'll agree.
Cool. Swansea, Newcastle. What are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, it's quite. There'll be quite a bit of hype around this game because of Swansea's capture of Renato Sanchez, and I myself am looking forward to seeing him play because I didn't really watch him last season. I didn't watch much German football last season, so I'm interested to see how he plays. He could turn out to be, one of the bargains of the summer.
Yeah.
Newcastle have been struggling, whereas Swansea have been looking fairly decent. They've been looking like a much improved side on the team that was, almost got relegated last season.
Yeah.
So
Paul Clement, I think, is a good coach.
I think he's a good coach. He's learnt from one of the best. He's managed some of the biggest names in football, and the biggest names in football. So I reckon it could be a 2-1 Swansea. I think Newcastle have some decent players in the squad.
Yeah.
Whether they've got enough to survive, I think they will struggle.
Yeah, I'm not sure they have much creativity.
No.
Iosi Perez, if he plays well. Maybe Matt Ritchie, but I think Matt Ritchie's just a bit like Robert Snodgrass, probably not quite good enough for the Prem because of the lack of physical. He's not even as good as him, maybe.
Yeah.
I think Swansea because they're at home.
Mm.
They're on good form. Paul Clement's a good solid manager. I'm gonna go 2-0 Swansea.
And they just re-signed Burnley as well, didn't they? That's one
Burnley, one of Swansea's favourites in the Prem.
Yeah.
Very good. So I'm gonna go 2-0 Swansea.
2-0 Swansea. I'll go 2-1 Newcastle.
You going to Newcastle?
2-1 Swansea. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, I was about to say. Okay. West Ham Huddersfield.
Ooh, now this is a good one.
Yeah, West Ham are at home and they have a better squad on paper.
Yeah.
Huddersfield are on better form.
Exactly. David Wagner just coming off the success of his debut month in the Premier League.
Did he get 6 points?
Premier League Manager of the Month. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was announced today he got the Manager of the Month. I'd agree. Mourinho might feel a little hard done by, but with that squad, you can't compare to Huddersfield. You can understand exactly why he's got it.
What was Huddersfield's results? They beat Newcastle.
Yeah. They won the first opening game 3-0, didn't they? Or was it 4? Was it Palace?
I'll quickly check while we're on it.
And then I think they drew in the third game, so I think they might be 6-7 points.
They beat Newcastle, they drew to Southampton and then beat Palace.
Yeah.
So 7 points for that team is brilliant.
Yeah, I mean it's
Do
already.
you think they're going to stay up?
Well,
I looked at that squad and thought, no.
My pre-season bets say no. The majority of my pre-season bets are looking terrible at the moment, mainly thanks to
Don't listen to a word this boy says.
But the way they've started, who's to say? I mean, is it Mounier? Adam Mounier?
Yeah.
Mounier.
There's a big striker, he's quick, he's pretty strong.
Got a couple of goals, a brace on his Premier League debut.
Seems a good sign
in
in
the French
South
League. I think he really did look the real deal. At least in his first game anyway. So I reckon it could be a 1-1 with West Ham's squad and the home advantage. I think they might just be able to withstand Wagner's football.
Could do with a result then.
Yeah, I think they are going to start turning it around. I really do like Bilic.
Yeah, I like it. He talks a lot of sense when he's been
Seems to be something else going on for that team and that manager.
Sullivan and Gold are always a bit controversial, always doing weird shit.
It's a hard one to call this because West Ham just haven't been playing like they should.
Yeah, it's fair. I'm going to go 1-0 West Ham.
1-0 West Ham. I'll probably go 1-1.
I could see Huddersfield winning it.
Yeah,
I just feel West Ham have got too good a squad to be languishing around the bottom.
they need to turn
Javier Hernandez could play in the Champions League. They paid 140 grand a week to get that boy. So
Yeah, he needs to start. I mean, he did score in the 2-2 draw or 3-2.
he's played well when I've watched him. He's
He
just
has.
getting the service.
Yeah, he's very isolated at the moment.
And Arnautovic was an idiot with that elbow. I feel West Ham, the international break could have been brilliant.
Yeah, it could have come at the right time.
Whereas the ball out to Chris Pass, I'm not even sure because I think he's just stubborn. But I think West Ham will win 1-0. You 1-0.
Yep.
Last fixture, forgot to do that in the order. Stoke, Man U. That's
Yeah,
the 5:30 kick-off on Saturday.
What can you say about Man U this season so far?
Big Rom, Pogba, best mates. Grand
Matic,
final. Yeah, to be fair, Matic has been brilliant
it's
so
been a
far.
revelation for Manchester United.
Saw an article on BBC, was it? Danny Murphy called him the final jigsaw in the puzzle. I was like, yeah, that's fair.
It seems to be coming true at the moment.
Freeze Pogba.
Yeah.
Pogba's not a defensive play. He can defend fairly okay.
He's got mainly due to his physical.
Yeah, he's physically very strong. He's quick and dynamic, but you don't want Paul Pogba tracking back and defending in your own half.
80+ million, or whatever it was, 89 million for a defensive midfielder.
Pay 40 million apparently.
And for what seems to be one of the best.
I don't get why Chelsea sold him.
No,
He's better than Bakayoko. What was the point in Chelsea signing Drinkwater and Bakayoko? Just sign Bakayoko, keep Matic, who's comfortably better than Drinkwater, and then get Matic to shoot at Bakayoko.
yeah.
I don't know what they were doing there.
It's been a weird one for Chelsea because
Yeah.
towards the end of the season, and now it's coming out even more so how many players they failed to sign.
Something weird in that dressing
yeah.
room. Conte's always seems a bit unsettled. But
I mean, especially when the majority of the players they try to sign were foreign players, and let's face it, the appeal for British football in a whole, or English football even, is mainly London.
And the wages that these teams can offer is crazy.
Especially Chelsea, who are scared of paying high wages. But back onto Manchester United and stuff.
Carried away.
I've got a sidetrack there, but yeah, I mean Manchester United have just blown the opposition away. So
They haven't played a great team yet. There's no offence. Who's they played? West Ham, Leicester, and
I think it was Swansea.
they haven't played a top 6 team for sure.
I think it might have been Swansea. I think that where they got 3 late goals to make it 4-0.
Yeah. Stoke, tough place to go. Man U are better than Arsenal and on better form, but Arsenal struggled and lost 1-0.
Yeah, I agree.
Stoke's never been an easy place to go ever since they came to the Prem. The Britannia's a tough stadium.
They've got more Champions League winners in that squad than any other team in world football.
Man U.
No, Stoke.
More Champions League winners in that squad.
Yeah.
Who've they got in that?
Like,
Oh, I'm missing something here.
well, they've got all them Champions League winners, haven't they? Like Bojan and whatnot.
No, he's gone on loan actually somewhere.
Yeah, he's gone out.
Hesse.
Hesse played well in his opening game. Got the goal.
He's a good goal. He looked pretty sharp in that game.
He seems to have recovered well from his injury. You don't get to play for Real Madrid at any level if you're a terrible player, do you?
Thomas Gravesen. There are exceptions.
Yeah.
But Hesse is a good player. He was a good coup for Stoke to be able to attract a player of his quality. You said, we were talking a bit before, and you said that you thought Man U would run them over. I could see that happening if they get an early goal and get firing again. But I feel Stoke will be the biggest test they've had yet. I could be wrong. Man U could run them over, but I'm going to go 2-1 United.
I'm going to go 3-0 United. I feel that one of the biggest strengths that Stoke have, especially at home, is the physicality they have against other teams.
Man U definitely have that.
And that's not going to faze Man U.
Matic.
Did I say Matic?
No, he said Matic.
Matic, Pogba, Lukaku. You know, you're not going to bully Lukaku. You're not going to bully Lukaku off the ball. You're not going to bully Pogba. You're definitely not going to bully Matic. You know, Phil Jones has been playing
Rojo
very well.
Rojo's injured at the moment, but Bayes
yeah. You know, you're not going to bully them. And I think while Stoke like to do that to most teams, they can play good football, but at times. They rely on that quite a lot, and balls into the box, you know. Dirty football almost, I guess, is a way to look at it.
Not sure Stoke fans would appreciate that.
Not
Stoke
dirty,
are pretty notorious for it.
not dirty in a constant fouling sense, but
This is the team that boo Aaron Ramsey.
Yeah.
Every time he goes there, after one of their players broke his leg in a horror challenge.
yeah.
Their fans love to boo Ramsey for getting his leg broken, so they maybe deserve it.
I think that might phase them a little bit. So I'm going to go 3-0 United.
Okay. 2-1 United to me. Boys, Zabwe Army, I hope you enjoyed these predictions. I think we're going to be doing this every week. I'll have a different guest every week. You might get the same guest returning sometimes. I'll come up with a leaderboard and it'll be 3 points for a correct score. So if it was 2-0, and I said 2-0, 3 points. 1 point for the correct result. So if it's a win to United, we both get a point.
Yeah.
And I'll put my average on the leaderboard because I'll be here, your regular host every week. And then I'll put the guests on the leaderboard. See how it goes. Hopefully I can deliver. Maybe I won't, don't know. But Luke, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for being my first guest.
Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
If you've liked this video, subscribe, comment, let me know what you think. I hope you've enjoyed it. Zelonius out.